Beep.
Beeping.
Beeping beepers. Beep.
Meeping. Feeping.
Flick.
There's a time when
Welcome back
welcome back
to the Lousy Show.
There's a time when we were recording that you were just, this was like 2 stories later, you're talking about a comment or something. I can't remember what you were saying, but it just randomly popped up in my head and it took everything in me to not fucking
Oh man, yeah. If y'all haven't seen Saturday's episode yet of the Am I the Asshole Crazy Exes 2, highly recommend going and watching that because that was a fucking shit show.
That one got us angry.
A little bit.
As they usually do. But
yep. But as always, we hope y'all are having an amazing week. We hope you all are having an amazing September. Remember, don't wake up Green Day yet.
Nope, not yet. 20.
Can't do it yet.
8 more days.
But yeah, but we're here, and we're rolling through. It's kind of crazy. Football season's back. Yes, big claps. I mean, shit. The holiday season's upon us. Next month is Halloween. The following month is my birthday and Thanksgiving. The following month after that is Christmas. The following month after that is your birthday. Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, it's a busy time. Not to mention, just can't believe it's already back at this point. Because I feel like it was just, a couple days ago that we were still back in Texas. Talking about some fall shit or getting ready to watch football. And
yep. It's insane how fast time has moved.
Yeah.
When you look back. Because that's so full transparency. I think I might have talked about this with our mental health episode that we did. But I don't know how deep I went. I'll just give a quick contextual update. If I didn't, I honestly don't remember. We're so far removed from that episode. But when we moved here, I went through a bit of a mental breakdown, mainly because I had put so much time and effort and sleepless nights into finding this that when I finally, it's like the dog with the car wheel. Remember the Joker line where he's like, I'm like a dog with a car. I don't know what to do if I even caught it. Right.
Yeah.
Like that was me with this house. And then when I got it, I was just like, and I just, and part of it was time. Cause I was like, oh my God, I lost so much time trying to find this house. We finally have it. What the fuck do I do? And it was it's one of those moments when I looked back and I went, but look how much you fucking did when you did all that.
Yeah.
But also look how much you're fucking doing now. Like back then, I didn't get out and do shit.
No.
Somehow this story actually wrapped into our topic. That's weird as shit. I didn't intentionally mean to do this.
Yeah, we usually say, but that's got nothing to do with today's topic. And this time it kind of does.
Actually, yeah. Because now here,
damn it, we're being the good show. I can't do that. No.
All right, roll the new title.
We need to get demonetized real quick.
I don't know. I was about to say some really heinous shit, and I stopped myself. I was like, Future Sam. Actually, yeah, if you have the moment to do so, just make a new quick title screen, The Good Show, and just right here.
From now
on. But no, dude, much like you and I talked about, you moving there, me moving here, that, we kind of briefly touched on before of us getting out and doing things. And today's topic is actually about the cool hobbies that we do, which kind of gives y'all a little bit of insight as the Lousy listeners, the true warriors, if you will, of our Lousy community. We'll just say that.
We're starting a militia.
Yeah, the rider, Aurora, Colorado. You bet your sweet ass we're coming for you. No.
It's like, how the Harley guys are going up there. We're just fucking showing up there. Just like fucking dad vans and shit.
I hope there's a militia of Harleys rolling up, dude. That's a whole different story for another day. Yeah. Anyways. But this gives y'all an opportunity as our ride or dies who do watch the podcast to get a little insight and look into our lives.
Yeah.
You know, a great plug here. Join the Discord as well, because you do get a glimpse of what we do in there. We've talked about before how I've shown like the Legos. You've kind of briefly touched on ones you've built, like, and I'm safely guessing that's gonna be something that we bring up here in a moment as far as what we're talking about with our hobbies. But like, the Discord's a great place to join the conglomerate of core Lousy listeners who want to be a part of a community, who want to be able to be a part of the show a lot more. So links in the description, join there. But to bring the story full circle, I recognize that I was doing a lot more now, and it helped me get out of that headspace. Cause I'm like, man, dude, life's way better now. Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
But you know, like it was truly one of those things of just like, holy shit, look at how much time has gone.
Yeah.
But look how much you're doing now with all that extra time you have.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that brings us in today's topic of our hobbies, things that we love to do. Yeah.
Yep.
I've already talked a lot. Sam, you take over, good buddy.
Nope. I'm scared.
All right. So, and back to the Lousy Show. Roll the time.
Yeah. And we're back, baby.
We made it.
Yeah. We made it all the way to the bottom. Right at the bottom of the barrel.
I ain't fucking leaving.
Never going back. Don't give me your fancy bullshit. Oh, man. No, but yeah, 100% hobbies have changed pretty, not super drastically, but there's been some notable changes to my hobbies and your hobbies. We already kind of touched on it a little bit, but my wife and I have been hiking as of late. And we were actually going to do one this weekend, but it was hot. So we were like, no, we'll stay inside.
What's considered hot now?
It was 97.
Yeah, fuck that.
No. If it was like mid 80s, I'd be totally down. That's totally fine. 97, I'm good. I don't want to be stuck out in the middle of the wilderness and having a fucking heat stroke.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't sound very fun, but already almost died on a hike, so I'm not trying to replicate that. You know, I'm not trying to go 2 in a row here. Not trying to start a new streak. But
that's fair.
So yeah, mostly that. My wife and I also this last season got into hockey, which it's not on right now, but it's getting ready to kind of get back into that season here shortly.
Yeah.
So a bit more sports watching. I haven't really touched Legos. I don't know why. Well, like the one go back, we already talked about it. He sent me his Millennium Falcon, like the fucking big one. Thanks again. And that thing is it's massive. That's going to be a thing. So I do at some point, I might this week, because I don't really think I really got too much going on this week, pull out one of the smaller sets and build one of those. Been meaning to, just, you know, it's always something new comes up. Gotta, you know, do more shit, yada yada. But then honestly, also something I've actually really enjoyed doing recently is editing, which I know sounds kind of weird, but I've been enjoying the process of it, and learning and getting better. And yeah, so now I don't know if anybody's noticed, but now on these podcasts, you know, I do go back to the wide angles like I used to do way back. And you know, getting that set back up was fun, and just learning and creating more cool content for y'all. So
yeah,
that's what I've been doing. Oh, and smoking meat. Got much more into smoking meat.
True.
Yeah.
As far as hiking goes, like, are you, because I know y'all said y'all have been like going a lot more and kind of, you know, upping the ante with the higher level trails and whatnot.
Yeah.
Are there any that y'all are like eyeballing right now?
There's one in Oregon. There's a short version of it and then a long version. So we're going to start with the short. but it's called like a 10 fall trail or something like that. But it's literally you go along and there's 10 different waterfalls all throughout this area.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, and so like the short version of it, it's not bad. It's like 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah.
The one concern that we have is elevation because we're still trying to get used to, you know, walking up and down. There's not much up and down in Texas. It's a little bit more flat unless you're out in like the hill country. But also, we just never walked outside in Texas because it was way too fucking hot, and I'm not trying to die.
Yep.
But so that there's one section of it that some people say go one way, some people say go the other, just basically to have to deal with the elevation change on it because it's literally a loop. So like you can go and then it's a circle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you just go back to where you started, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I want to do that, and then eventually it'll be getting out to like some of the bigger ones, both in mileage and I'm not trying to rock climb necessarily like we did this that one, but you know, I don't mind a little bit of elevation eventually, but got to work up to that.
I can already see it now. Before long, you're gonna be like, like next month we're tackling Everest. Yeah,
no, never doing that.
Have you watched videos of people doing that?
Yeah, fuck that. Why do people want to do that?
It's really pretty.
It's really pretty, but then I've also seen the very ugly side of it, to where like, you know, they'll take the picture, but then it's the trash. Literally, one of the markers going up Everest is a dead body. And they're like, oh yeah, that's green boots or something like that. I can't remember what it is. And then like base camp is disgusting. Like there's just trash and like human bullshit all over the place. So like, I don't mind it. Like I'm sure it'd be cool for some, but that just doesn't seem cool. And then also there's the very high risk of death.
Valid.
You know, like I don't mind climbing a smaller mountain. I'm not trying to fucking put on oxygen tanks or do some other bullshit like that.
Yeah.
No, not for me.
That's one thing. So I wish I could remember the content creator who it was. It was a YouTube video I watched. It was like a 4-hour long video, but it was literally his journey from base camp all the way to the summit and back. And he had a follow-up video. I wish I could remember who it was. If you know who I'm talking about, drop the name in the comments down below. But I remember watching it, and base camp, you were 100% on. Like, it's disgusting because it's like so many people frequent there now. I mean, it's just base camp. People go there just to tour by and be like, oh my god, it's the beginning, crazy.
Yeah.
But then like the next camp is really fucking cool. The little village that's like up the mountain a bit. It's fucking dope. And then it's just super gorgeous going up, dude. Like, but the amount of time it takes to do that, I mean, like, I'm not a hiker. I've never claimed to be a hiker. Do I like going on the occasional hike? Sure. When I was in a much better shape, I would have fucking done it in a heartbeat. Like, as far as like going out and just experiencing nature and shit and getting some good old, cardio climbing in, but not me, dude. Like, if and when when I come out to visit you, I know for a fact I'll probably go with y'all just to experience it because I want to, but something like egregiously long or big, couldn't do it.
Lost audio for a split second, but it's back. We're good.
Good.
When you come out, we'll do the cooler, easier ones. We're not gonna be subjecting you to all that. So
yeah, but no, I think it'd be a lot of fun. Also, it'd be really cool. Maybe actually, just an idea. Maybe a future content idea for y'all. I'll bring my my vlogging cameras and we'll take them with us, almost like a Lousy in nature.
That'd be cool.
Be dope.
Yeah.
But no, I've said this before. I'm happy that you've like gotten out, and because you and I both had really nasty habits of just staying inside in Texas.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's it. Yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of what you do there since it's hot, but that's not true. There's plenty of people that still went out and dealt with the heat, but I just never really wanted to.
just a fair point here. I don't know if you are going to have an audio delay on your video, but you have a delay between your video and audio on Discord.
Okay. I doubt
Kill
that I
your
will.
camera for a second. Technical difficulties. What kind of show would we be? See, we're the lousy show. We're not the good show. We're the lousy show. Can't put that kind of your fucking picture.
Are you just now
you made that your fucking picture, dude? No, I forgot you did. I just saw it again. I was like, fuck. All right. Say something.
Something.
There we go. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm just there are definitely things to do in Texas. Like, make no mistake, there's a bunch to do in Texas.
Oh yeah.
I just think you and I like had very bad habits of like, yep, we're inside. Like,
yep. I mean, and I still thoroughly enjoy inside time. That's still a majority of my time, but it's getting a lot more outdoorsy. So
yeah. Well, that's one thing I appreciate here. And so, like, kind of one of my hobbies is just like house projects.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be anything big. It's just simply like going through. I just a few days ago went through and rearranged my shed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it like I had some hangers that were in the garage before we converted to the game room. There were some hangers on the side of like cabinets, and they're nothing but like little like horseshoe J hooks.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like it's got two screw holes. It bends through, and it you know it's shaped like this basically. And I took those out into the shed and just doing some remodeling. Like, we got the shelves put up. I'd put one up in a post, and I hung my fucking weed eater there. You know, we took some of the old cabinetry out here, and I put it up against that way I could like kind of house things a lot better and just keep it neat. Like that. I mean, fucking learning lawn care. I'm, trying to understand how grass works, because that's a whole new fucking thing for me.
Yeah.
It's just like simple things like that where I can get outside. Because I do love to travel now. Like, I love going and playing disc golf. That's something I've gotten back into a lot with being here, is playing disc golf. Love playing disc golf. Love a good 18 hole. Like, just going out on a beautiful morning or a beautiful day. Hell, just went fucking yesterday. Went out yesterday. The weather was absolutely magnificent. Went out, did 18 holes. It was incredible. It was a great time. Like, that's something I've been doing, but like just getting out of the house a lot more. I've been doing that, but doing projects around the house gives me an opportunity to get out of the house without leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Because admittedly, for the time that I was in Texas, being inside all the time, I did get out and go do things, but it wasn't as social as most events would be. Typically, like, I was just going to the store or running errands or going searching for Lego or whatever.
Yeah.
So there was no social interaction needed. It was more of just do, but even now, like, I'm feeling the effects of that through my social battery, so to speak, where like there's points where I'm like, I'm good. Like, yeah. I love y'all. You're all awesome. Papa needs to get home. Like, and but that's just natural. And I'm slowly warming up more and more to being able to be more social and such. Like, I remember a few weeks ago, I went to a birthday party of a friend of mine who I've met through content, and so I went over there, saw some old friends who I hadn't seen in ages, both through content and in person. But it was just like so many people were there that I didn't know, that I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, no, like that, being able to bring it full circle here. Those projects around the house are definitely things. Like, one of the ones I'm tackling probably this coming weekend before I go on vacation is, when does this episode come out?
This one's the
sorry. This past weekend, I would have done this as of recording this for you all. I am planning on, in the front where we have a nice like covered porch and whatnot. There's a step off, and that step off leads to two different directions. It's either another step down into the grass or 5 steps down to the driveway. on the right hand side, you can see where the previous owner had like laid pebbles to try and make like a pathway, but they all sunk into the dirt because he didn't lay any like sand or anything. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to dig all those up. I'm going to then dig a pathway around the flower bed, lay some lay sand, lay some pavers. I mean, not pavers, some landscaping blocks. Really make those look nice around that area because we're about to like, gussy that up a bit, and then put actual pavers down for a path around that. That way we have a step down and it's not just like mud or dirt right as soon as you step down.
Yeah.
Like things like that, dude, I find so much enjoyment in, because it not only is it a hobby, it's like something you can see, it's tangible,
Yeah. I know once we buy a house, I will 100% be like crazy lawn guy, probably. Like maybe not like
That's
super,
fair.
super crazy, but like, like I want to have not just a lawn full of weeds,
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely get a lot more into that just because like right now, since I'm renting, I don't really give a shit. Like, I make it look nice enough to where it's fine, but the yard is weeds. There's hardly any grass. And there are days where I'm like, God, I really just want to fix it. But then I also don't want to put the time, effort, and money into it because it's not my fucking house.
Yeah.
So I did recently, just because it was bothering the fuck out of me. There was one section of the yard that at one point they had it be like a flower bed. And they had put down like a weed barrier, but like a cloth one kind of.
Yeah.
And that thing just over the years got ripped to shreds. And then, and they took all the flowers out. And so now it's just part of the yard again. Yeah. But all that weed barrier was still there. And so like that section of the yard, I always had to like go in with a weed eater because I couldn't put the mower over it. Otherwise I'd probably break my fucking mower. Yeah. And so I finally was like, fuck it. And I ripped it all out and filled up my trash can full of it because it was a lot. And so now I'll actually be able to do that and grow my weeds in that section again. So
no, I feel you on the whole like renting thing. That's how I felt in Texas, man. Because if you remember when we initially moved to Texas and we got that house, the pictures for the backyard showed it to be a grass backyard, but then there was another picture that showed pavers all over the backyard, and I was like, what? Like, I don't understand. And then we got there, and sure as shit, the owner had taken pavers and from fence wrapped, like to give y'all visualization here, my backyard was a big L because you come out the back door and it opens up this big area, but the fence wraps into an L and it goes beyond the back wall and then connects about halfway up to the house.
Actually, a little bit of a throwback. If you go back and watch the Timu,
that's my backyard
video, the drone, you see a little bit of his backyard in it. And his old backyard, I should say. So
yeah, and that's all pavers, dude. Like all that used to be luscious green grass for kids to go play in, for the dog to go lay out in, like it used to be pretty. And for some fucking reason, he was like, nope, pavers look better. Like part of me every day was like, just take the motherfuckers up. Cause the grass was growing through it.
Yeah.
Like
that much was ridiculous. Like I can understand having a little area, right? But I would have probably flopped what they did and like put a path to the part that has grass. I probably would have paved that area and then left the rest of it grass.
Yeah. But because it wasn't like the patio area was small.
No.
But I digress. Don't have to worry about that house anymore.
We go.
But when it comes, do what?
I said we go.
Yeah, we out. But no, like, aside from house projects, like I've been heavily invested into Lego again, like we talked about just a few episodes ago, like showing off the Saturn V, the Discovery, showing the Hubble Space Telescope. Actually, I don't know if I showed the Hubble.
You didn't show the Hubble. You just talked about it.
Yeah. Well, that's right here next to me. Something really cool, and I showed you this before we were recording. So part of why I kind of like fell out of doing Lego was because I was trying to push myself to like finish a whole collection of them at one time. Not like building all at once, but like finish one, move the next, move the next, move the next, and get that collection done. And I was doing the cars, and I'm gonna be honest with you, got a little burnout on it. So I was like, let me try. Like after a couple weeks, I should say not a few weeks, a couple weeks, I was like, let me try, do another one. Totally forgot I had the Saturn V and the Discovery. And when I cracked open that fucking door and saw the table, and I was like, like I immediately just snatched it up. So with all that said, I had originally purchased the Saturn V, the Discovery, the sun like system with the Earth and Moon rotating around it, and the Mars rover. The only two I was missing from the big space ones was the lunar lander and the International Space Station.
I wonder what he got.
And now I have them.
Hell yeah.
So I'll be working on those.
Nice.
But no, I mean, like I kind of fell out of doing Lego for a while too, just because it was like, yeah, I mean, you saw my stockpile. Like we joked about it all the time. I stockpiled a fuckload of them back when my youngest was born, so that way I could have something to do. And then I realized, like, oh, I want to sleep. And I just kept them inside for a while. I just didn't know what to do with them. But now I'm actually building through them and slowly but surely running out of space on my shelves.
Yeah.
So
I've also been doing I got back into video games, which I know sounds kind of weird, but like I just for a while there, I barely was playing anything.
No, he's telling the truth.
Like I especially in the lead up to the move, I barely played anything. And then once we got here,
you barely touched your computer.
Yeah, I really only got on there to edit, honestly. And once we kind of got settled here, started gaming a little bit again and all that. So like I've actually been really addicted to Valheim again.
Tell them the story.
Which one?
The phone call I made to you. My request. You remember this?
It's not ringing a bell at the moment.
He was just getting back into playing video games about 2 to 3 years ago.
Yep.
Go ahead. You tell the story.
This is Rocket League, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Rocket League, I had fully quit, hard quit, uninstalled, hid it in my Steam library, get the fuck out of here level of quit. Because I grinded that game. That was the game. That was like the one game that I was like, I am good at this fucking game. And I played the shit out of it. And I've just grinding the ranking side of it, or the ranked side of it. And eventually got pretty stuck in champ. And then also I was so done with the toxicity of it, because they are toxic as fuck in all video games. On the entire internet's all toxic, but Rocket League has a special level of hell dedicated for a lot of those people. And so I had quit 100%, and it was actually after playing a game with Joe that I had hard quit.
I side note, I do want to say I'm almost certain I was the reason you quit.
You weren't the only. That was just a straw.
He admitted it. He fucking admitted I was part of it.
Well, I mean, because for that it was, at the time there was and I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, there was a massive skill gap.
There is a massive skill gap. I
will say I've gotten a lot better.
Now we're pretty even. I will say, but I'm also washed too. So fuck you. Anyway,
couldn't take a twin W there. No. He had to throw out the L somehow. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lousy show, so L for
this
lousy.
Is why you fucking uninstalled, you piece of shit.
But so after that game, like legit through the controller, uninstalled the game.
Oh yeah.
Hard quit Discord. I was done. And then one day while we were still in Texas, you were cutting my hair, and you're like, "Hey man," and he brought this up like such a serious thing too. He's like, "I have a really important question I want to ask you." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I don't know what you were gonna bring up. Like, it could have been 100 million gajillion things. And this motherfucker was like, I'm really trying to get up to champ in Rocket League. Could I pull you out of retirement? I'm like, what the fuck? Like that was the last question.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been like, hey man, I really just, I want to leave my wife and marry you. Like that was above.
Oh, shit.
Come back and play Rocket
plausible.
League. So came out of retirement. Treat it now as just a game.
Yeah.
I don't care if we win or lose necessarily. The rank has no bearing for me. And so sometimes I throw games on purpose. No, I'm just kidding.
I will say this. It was terrifying for me to ask that because of witnessing how it ended. Because from my perspective, because you have to remember, it wasn't short after that you stopped playing video games.
Yeah.
You stopped playing video games.
I played video games just very infrequently.
We're talking once a month at best.
Yeah.
Where you used to play nightly.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, because like, admittedly, again, there was a skill gap. And I didn't take it as serious as he did. I was on the side of just having fun. Now I take it a bit more serious only because it's the one competitive game that I'm actually like, I'm good at competitive games, but this is the one game that I actually have a fighting chance at being good at. And working my way up the actual rank systems. The other ones, any gamers out there, I'll throw some out into the ether. Used to be competitive in Apex, that game's shitting out. Used to be competitive in Siege, that whole community could eat shit. Like some of my friends out there, I still love you. But like, hell, even competitive Fortnite, fuck that. Like, but Rocket League's the one game where I was I'm actually decent at this game. I'm not gonna say I'm really good, but I'm gonna say I'm good, like far above and beyond what I used to be.
Yeah.
But at this time, I was very much not.
Yeah.
And I remember from my perspective, mid-match, you went to hit a shot, missed. Dude on the other team bangs it. I'm out of position. He scores. And all I hear is, man, fuck. And I heard the controller hit the desk and I went, Sam? And then he was just like, I'm out. And I don't think I even called you that night. I think I just sent you a text. And I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, and you were like, I'm fine. I'll talk to you later. I was like,
yep.
Oh. So that's why, like, coming to that, I was like, I don't want to cause my friends harm or mental stress. But when I was like at that point where I'm at a point in my like journey of this game where I need a consistent partner. Shout out to our buddy Guru. He's usually our third for when we play standards.
Yep.
Love him to death. He's like the person I play with when I'm on my lunch break. But in the evenings, he's usually busy doing something else. I'm like, I need somebody who I can play with, so I'm not playing with these randoms. And so I was just like, could I pull you out of retirement? Like, just very solemnly, like, please.
And I think I even said, like, let me move. Let me get settled. And then, because it was still, I think, a few weeks off of us moving.
It was right before. It was right before, because it was one of the last haircuts I gave you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I was also in the process of getting shit like packed up in my office at the time.
Yeah.
I remember that. And then like, I think the first time you and I played, I was like still in a barren office. Like everything was gone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, just seeing you back into video games is dope. Because I mean, like you and I have a fuckload of memories on video games, and it's nice to be able to just like, it's nice to be able to game with the homie again. Like, shout out to all the friends we play with. Like, I love them to death too, but all at the same time, like, I miss playing with you.
Yeah.
This
is the origin story.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of lore, lore.
Mm-hmm.
And even with video games, like I wouldn't even consider video games a hobby of mine, because there's like I will say I enjoy video games. I do play video games a lot, But my new game hobby is board games.
Yeah, you've been going hard.
And not just like Monopoly and shit like that. I'm talking like full on deck builders.
Yeah.
Like there's one, and I don't think I've ever mentioned it on this show once, but if you ever get a chance to like play this game, it is God tier. It's called Cosmic Encounter. I legit went and bought the main game and 5 of the 7 expansions at one time.
Damn.
It's that good. Like I was like, I need this. But it's one of those games where anybody can pick it up if you genuinely just read for a moment. Like initially in the game setup, there's a lot of elements to it that you're like, holy shit. There's a lot. But once you actually get involved with like understanding, because also Cosmic Encounters, it's outer space. I love outer space shit. I've said this before. I will die on this hill. I love outer space shit. That is already tickling my fancy. But each individual main card you have has aliens on it with specific powers that determine your gameplay against other players, with other players, against yourself or with yourself. One of my favorite cards in the game is called Masochist. Want to know how to win the game? Lose.
Assuming, yeah.
Yeah. Literally lose all of your ships and you win. That's it. And it's just it's games like that I've really been like hardcore in lately, where I'm finding more and more fun board games. Like shit, literally just today as of recording, a bunch of friends were over and we played one. It's called Haunting at the House on the Hill or something like that. But it's a deck builder where you literally are building a mansion with tile pieces that you put together each round as you choose doors to go through. And then like you can unlock like events, omens, power. Like it's a lot of fun. And I'm finding a lot of fun with that because not only is it teasing the old brain muscle and putting some extra wrinkles in here, but it's just fun to be able to like engage with your friends in person.
Yeah.
And in Texas, like you and I hung out all the time, but beyond that, like, and beyond my neighbors, most of my friends lived outside of the state.
Yeah.
Majority of them are here. So guess what? Board game night, people coming over. You know, it's nice to just, it's that extra layer of social atmosphere where I don't have to go out and completely decimate my social battery. I can have friends here in the game room set up for people to come play. Like I have a table literally built for 8 people to sit around it and have fun playing games. And there's more shit I'm doing in there. Like we're getting ready to mount a TV on the wall, a computer next to it. So when we play D&D, we can have the fucking battle map up on the screen. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Things like that. Like I'm just really enjoying that level of gameplay, which does pull me away from this. But admittedly, as much time as I used to spend on this, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So also one you would really like. It's actually called Star Wars, the deck building game.
I've seen it actually. So our friends here, they live a few hours away, so they don't hang out very often, but they did bring up like one of the next times that they're down here. Cause her grandparents live not too far from here. And so they're in town, not super frequently, but when they are, it's usually for the weekend. And they were talking about potentially playing, they sent that one and we looked into it and it looks fun. Also, my brother-in-law who lives here, has invited me to play D&D. And he does a whole group. Like he legit started an LLC. And he charges $5 and that basically just covers like snacks and drinks. And unless you're a kid, then he doesn't charge because it's literally just like a word of mouth thing. Like he's like, it's just his friends and his friends' friends. Right. Yeah. But he does that so he could write off expenses.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah. And yeah. And then with all like the business stuff, he ended up netting like 25 grand or some shit like that with like the different grants and shit that they were giving out. So,
holy shit.
But yeah. So anyway, he's a very smart guy, but he's invited me as well. Got to ask for the family discount. But otherwise, no.
I'm gonna tell my D&D group. Don't be surprised if I start fucking charging.
Yeah.
But no, like even with D&D, like I'm having a lot of fun with that. We have a core group we play with every Friday night. and it's 5 people. I'm the DM. Lot of fun. If you love D&D out there, drop D&D in the comments because we love some D&D. Got to get ready for the new update too. I think it actually, as of this episode, it's already dropped. But actually, as of recording this, it comes out in just a couple days. But dude, like with D&D, we've been having a lot of fun with that. We've got to a point now where we're starting to expand the party a little bit. My wife and her best friend here, like they kind of came to, because it's 2 wives. It's my wife and one of the other players' wife, and then 4 dudes. And so it's me DMing, and then Greg and our buddies Jake and Silas. So it's Silas's wife and my wife, and then us 4 dudes. And we've had a lot of great cohesion. Like I did a 1-shot campaign with them as the DM to kind of like see if the party would work well together, just as players, not just as characters. And it was great. Everything went well. And then like the idea of adding new people in came up. And so like we just had to have like a full on like judicial meeting of like, okay, everyone in favor of bringing new ones in, say aye. And at the end, like we all couldn't agree. I was like, well, how about this? We'll just do what we did before. I'll write a 1-shot. I love writing 1-shots. I that's actually opened up a full creative area for me. Like much like you were talking about how you love learning with editing and such. I've finally gotten back into the writing bug where I'm able to just unlock this whole treasure trove of shit that's been in my head and being able to put it on paper for people to actually play.
Yeah.
Like it's great.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, I'll just write a 1-shot. We'll invite the new players over. And then after that, if y'all mold with them, great. If you don't, okay. No hard feelings. We move on. But we're going to get prepared for that. That'll be well after vacation. But
gotcha.
Yeah, D&D has definitely become a new hobby. Well, not a much more deep-rooted hobby, I would say.
Yeah, you were just kind of barely getting into it before you moved. So like it makes sense that now you're settled, you're diving in head first, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, it's also something that just allows me to have a social atmosphere with friends where I can not only enjoy what we're doing, but I can enjoy the presence of people around, and be able to just share stories, laughs, all that good stuff. And funny thing about charging, like we kind of just set it up where we're like, all right, each week we'll rotate. Like next time we play, it's our turn again to go and buy snacks. We'll have snacks and drinks. And then it just kind of goes around the table of who's getting it next. And
gotcha.
it just works out that way because, well, since we aren't really using minis right now, it's all theater of the mind. We're just all the snacks are in the middle of the table, grab and go.
Yeah.
And we can just keep this thing moving.
That's cool.
But now that I know you're playing D&D though, like
I haven't said I am playing. I said I've been invited.
Are you going to play though?
Maybe. We'll see.
All I'm saying, have a 1-shot prepped when I come out to visit.
I think he does it. So like he does it with different groups, of course. And so I think the way he explained it to me is like he's got like he mostly just does 1-shots with like the randos, and then like the core group they've got a campaign, but apparently the way that he does it is that he can easily maneuver people in as needed, like in and out.
Okay.
So like I don't know exactly how he's doing it. I didn't ask, and he was kind of telling me in passing. So if I end up joining the main campaign, it'll be a 1-shot style thing anyway. But
nice.
We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that goes for you.
But hold your breath.
Fair. Now let us know in the comments what hobbies y'all are getting into. This was just a chill podcast for us to be able to talk about this stuff because we haven't really gotten a deep dive this aspect of us. Like he and I know, but also even at the same time, like sometimes we'll talk about it. Sometimes we're just like, hey, let's just hang.
Yep.
But no, it's just nice to be able to talk about it and hell, let us know what hobbies you're into. Maybe something will spark our attention and we might jump into it as well. Who knows? Also, again, link in the description, join the Discord. That's a great place for you to talk about your hobbies, talk about anything really.
Yeah.
Other Lousy listeners in there who all enjoy the community. So come hang out with us. Otherwise, if you have nothing else to say in the comments, subscribe, like the video, and drop Fuck it. Drop an eggplant in the comments because engagement. Lot of dicks.
All the dicks.
Anyways.
No, but not dicks, just eggplants.
Just eggplants, please.
Yeah, we don't want to see dicks.
Any closing remarks, Sam?
Flicks. See, it's just it sends you.
We'll see y'all Thursday.
Flicks.
Later.